is the Victory Moment with CK. Join the show as we chat victory in the midst of the uncertainty in life, because each day can be a victory moment if you don't quit, if you don't give up, and if you don't let go. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today, once again, we are talking travel. This is episode 2, and we are talking travel tips, tricks. Travel. Getting tongue-tied. Travel tips and tricks. So today we're going to talk about safety when it comes to travels. We're talking about safety when it comes to travels today. And let's talk about it as we again talk travel tips. Thank you for those that are joining me all the way from the different areas. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me and catching it live. But remember, you can always check it out on Roku and Apple TV and on the BHC network. There's some upcoming great things that I want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it more as I get more detail in reference to some things as we talk sponsorship. And if you are interested and you understand about sponsorship, television or TV or shows live through sponsorship. So I need those that are interested, that are a business, whether you want to promote your book, to please connect with me, share with me, and I will give you more details in reference to how that works. That was just a little commercial break today. So let's talk about the travel safety that I want to talk about. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 travel safety as you prepare, especially as the summertime is coming. More are going to be traveling. Welcome again, as I said to everyone. Thank you so much for joining and your support and love. Thank you. Um, so one of the things I want to talk about is your documents, and I mentioned it a little bit last time. Make copies of important documents. Like if you're traveling out of the country, there are sometimes certain documents that are required, um, and your passport and all of that is required. Now, my thing is, when you're taking these things and traveling with these things, you do not want to lose these documents. So instead of walking around with them, you secure them where you are. Secure them in whatever capacity you can, and you make copies and you walk around with the copies. That is so much better than you losing it and then still try to get it back, or having to get it back, pay for it to get it back, and all of that other stuff. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Now, The other thing I want to talk about is keep your friends and family updated. Like, have someone that you are connected to, that you will, that you would, that you know, that will that you are connected to keep up with you, especially again if you're traveling out of the country. You need to make sure that there's someone making sure that's connecting to you. And this is part of why using a travel consultant is good. You get someone that basically knows what's going on, and then they can actually share that with you and how to share it with the family. So, number one, make the copies of important documents, like your state IDs and things of that sort. So you do not have to walk around once you do certain things in the travels with it while you're walking around. And that way you have a copy, a secure copy, and all of that. Number two, keeping your friends and family updated. Keeping your loved ones, those that are close to you, connected to you, updated on what's going on with your travel so that you are not all willy nilly by yourself. It's very, very important. Okay. It's very important for safety. And we're talking safety today. Number three, be wary of public Wi Fi. Public Wi Fi is not always the best, is not the best to use. It opens, if anybody understands what Wi Fi is a portal basically that gives you access to go online and certain things, but it also is open to other people. So if you have a hacker, that is one of the ways that they actually get information, is through those type of portals, which is Wi-Fi. And you have to be very careful of how you use Wi-Fi. And I would not advise anyone, if you don't have to use certain Wi-Fis like that, because it's very dangerous. And the last two things I want to share with you before I, you know, um, thank you again and continue on with this episode is safeguard your hotel room. Like wherever you're going, not just a hotel, if you're going to a resort or whatever the case may be, safeguard your room. That means that be aware of where you are, do research. And I always talk about this. Be aware of, what you're doing, because this is not home. So you really don't know the everyday of certain things. So it's very, very important to safeguard your hotel room. And when I used to work for school security, we always talked about safety being first, because it's good to have and want to have a good time. But if there's not safety first, you're putting your life in danger. And I'm just gonna bring back briefly. I really don't want to go through the whole of it because it was very sad. It was very emotional to me because as a young person, we want to expose our young people to experiences as they mature. But when you do that, make sure that you're doing it in wisdom. And what really bothered me is yes, safety first. Thank you. And what really bothered me is that these young people were supposed to just be going to enjoy and have a good time. And it turned into something very, very tragic. And the tragic that it turned into could have been avoided because, again, it was only thought about having a good time, but not the safety first, not, it was like pleasing to everyone, but no one thought about the aftermath of what could happen. So my thing is, safeguard, and I'm going back into this, safeguard your hotel room. That means don't leave, even though it's your hotel room. Make sure that you safeguard your personal items, your money, your personal items. Normally, a lot of these hotels and resorts they've been using, and most of them have now what we call a safety lock or place where you could put your stuff and secure it. Use it, because you have no idea who really has access to your room. The cleaning and all of that, you have no idea who it is actually that has the access to your room. So let that be like a priority. Thank you so much, love. Woman of God. And be aware. And the final thing I want to talk about is be aware of your surroundings. When you're traveling, don't travel all willy-nilly. Be aware of what's around you. Be aware of what's in the area that you are. Be aware. I went to one time, it was just something simple. We went to Maryland. Real quick story. And on one end, it was a quiet district. But then on the other end, there was some other things going on that really wasn't safe for us. So when you're looking at a hotel or you're looking at what we will call a resort, make sure of what you're walking into. I tell everyone all the time, do your research. That's why we're here for you. Real, hear what I'm saying? Real travel consultants do research, because my thing is, I want to make sure you get to where you're going safe and you return safely. We've heard of different circumstance where someone went all the way to Hawaii and someone just came into their room through a window or something or whatever. So research your travels. Where are you going? The time that you're going. Right now, a lot of places, it's hurricane season. Do you know that? If it's not, or it's coming up in May or in June. Do you recognize those things before you make plans? And I'm saying this, and I'm talking about these travel tips because so many times we have a bad experience with travel because we don't do the homework, because we don't follow safety procedures. We don't look up. It's it's all available to you. Even if the travel consultant doesn't do it, I have links and all of that information so that when my client is traveling, they can get that from me. Number one. Number two is, when you're doing that research, it doesn't just help the travel the travel person or the persons, but as a travel consultant, it brings another level of your professionalism, because now that your client can say they can trust you because you've given them details that they need in reference to their travels, to make their travel and destination safe and better. I want to go to Dubai. When do you want to go to Dubai? Do you know there are times and seasons that are not good to go to certain places? And I'm closing out now, but I just want to leave this little tidbit. So I know we're excited about the summer and we want to go. Listen, do research, or or we're here and say, hey, I've had someone just send me a message, say, hey, can you tell me the best, what's the in April and May, where's the best places to go? Do you know I can tell you that? And that's what you need, because you don't want to go into certain places. Right. I exactly. But there's a time and season that you really don't want to go to certain places because of different things that happen. So it's always about safety first. I've been doing, my travel consultant and travel, we call it travel agent, travel consultant. I'm a travel specialist for Jamaica. I'm a travel specialist. I I've done some things and I've learned some things in along my journey. And one thing I realized that's so important to my clients is their safety. And when they're coming and going, I don't want anything to happen on my watch. So I do as much as I can. We're not perfect. I'm still learning like you are, because I'm still a person. But I've just chosen to use this as one of my of my focus, because I love to help people to see new adventures and more. But most importantly, to help people for travels to change their life, because it changed mine. And it can make a difference. And I'm talking about, victory moments and all that. That's my show. And I'm talking about travels when it comes to victory moment, because you could have a great, successful travel experience if you just follow some few guidelines and steps. You can't pass it up. What do I pack? Check out my prior video. How do I pack? Those things are important, because again, you don't want to bottle yourself down with things you don't need. And it comes through just doing research, just preparing ahead of time. And that's what makes the difference. So I was excited to bring this to you today. Continue to have a great rest of your evening, afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Those that have joined me, that have joined the episode. We have so much more to share. And we're getting ready to go into, our Mother's Day month as we celebrate mothers. And I'm believing, I'm working on it. Next week I'm going to most likely have a guest. And I mean, I should say next episode I should have a guest. And I'm excited to bring you the people that I bring you, because you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Yes, blessings. And definitely, so I'm excited about the next episode as we keep moving. But I'm going to be bringing these travel tips and tricks monthly. so that you can really get the best, not just out of your trip, but out of your monies. We're going to talk about saving. How do I save when it comes to traveling? We're going to talk about that in one of our episodes next in the next episode. So in one of my next episodes, I should say, because these are the things for next month episode. Because these are the things we need right now as we plan out our summer vacation. Because it don't necessarily have to be you going on an airplane, but you still have to plan whether you're going on a road trip or not. Because again, it helps to make your destination so much better and safer. So I thank you all again for your love and support. And don't forget, if you are interested in being a sponsor to this show, there's so many avenues and ways. If you want to do it, just if you just want a quick um mention of your show, we can do that. If you want a full video of your show on my show, we can do that. And there's so many things. I mean, those are just a few of the ways that we can help to support you and bring out what you are doing, whether it be a new book, all of that stuff. This is how shows keep going. So on our network, we're looking for sponsors for us individually and on the network, for the network to keep going as we're on Roku and all of those things. So we look forward to keep serving you with details, information, and we're excited to bring these shows to you. And if you have not downloaded BHC, it is free. We tried something before, but now it's totally free. And you can see the other information that is allowed and that you can look at, mindset matters and different things, because that's what we do. We want to uplift, we want to elevate, and we want to bring the best out of everyone as we share our information. So I thank you for joining me on the Victory Moment with CK, the Travel Tips and Tricks edition. So there's so much more to come. And even if you're interested in being a part of the show, inbox me. Send me an email at kingmiracletravels@yahoo.com. And we will love to support and have you on the show. Um, and just, bring out anyone we can. So I thank you again. BHC thanks you. And we look forward to growing and keep going forward. But don't forget, as I end off and thank everyone again, safety is always first when it comes to travels. Safety. And again, don't forget to, as I will say this again, make the copies of your important documents, keep your friends and family updated, be alert of public Wi-Fi, safeguard where you're staying, and most importantly, be aware of your surroundings. So as I start and so I end, you can continuously have the victory daily if you don't give up, if you don't give in, and if you don't quit. Let's go. Let's keep going. And don't forget, Travels is here to change your life. If you just be prepared if you just what we will say, do the research, and it will make a whole lot of difference. So blessings, love. Until the next episode. Until the next episode of The Victory Moment with CK.